It should be me saying, "Hey y'all."
Nobody's here.
Yeah. We got Halloween baby.
Travis and Peggy and Halloween baby. Hello,
I know.
loves. But I think they're not here. They left. They're coming back. What?
She-
Oh, we got two.
she just said, "Mom."
We got two.
I told you.
Oh, we got two. Yay. Yay.
What y'all doing?
What's it? What y'all update?
What is happening? With your
Happy
hair?
Halloween baby, my
What is
love.
happening with your hair?
It's not, I think I put too much leave-in conditioner in it. Hi, peas. Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, there's Mama Cadol. Thank you, Mama. I will take it. Hey, Peggy. I love Peggy. Huh? It's Dr. Pepper. It's Dr. Pepper for me, not to help. Hey, crybaby, Daphne.
Halloween baby.
Oh, good. We're riding with Halloween baby. Yay! Yay! I'm sorry about yesterday. I was in pain. Hey, Deborah. Oh, spicy. I have a pinched nerve. Hey, half pint. I would admit, Mama, I have got a pinched nerve in my neck. Okay. Peggy, something very weird about that. Oh, very weird. Where my pinched nerve is, right? They're going to have to go in through the front to fix it. I do not think so, sir.
Where you going, Halloween baby? Where are you going?
What, crybaby? Peggy, something is very wrong with Mr. J. I don't know. They said that his pacemaker stopped what? 17th, maybe? I can't remember. Something's not right. No carbon monoxide poisoning. The two dogs that were running around are alive, but the one in the crate, well, they probably drink water. I don't know. Something's not right.
It was in the closet, too.
Huh?
The crate was in the closet.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you put a dog crate in the closet?
I don't know. It depends on
the closet. I mean, he's 95 years old, right?
And it was just the two of them living there.
Yeah. I don't know. More will come out about that.
Every dog would have a room in our house.
Really?
Okay.
Peggy, I think everybody's on. I might be on Epstein's list. I'm telling you, everybody on Earth is in them lists. Or if they're not in that one, they ain't P. Diddy's. Let's not talk about P. Diddy. So Mitten, Mama, and Joe made chicken tortilla soup. Wait, my son is a huge. It's been to it. Yeah, I've been to all that. It's stenosis or whatever they call it. It's just rounded around. They ain't going through my neck. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. Anyway, my son's favorite and mine hockey player is Austin Matthews, and his very favorite soup is chicken. His mom's chicken tortilla. More than enough budgets. That's cute. I think my wife might follow her head. Something happened. What is sad? I mean, if you make it to 95, there was actually a woman here, 92, and she got murdered a couple years ago.
I would be so pissed.
I know.
I would be.
I know. It's just getting. Listen, my son. Peggy, that's what I'm talking about. Because I have never met anybody that had a back operation or neck one where it worked. Quite the opposite.
I like this shirt on you. I like the color.
Thank you, honey.
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
That's okay.
It just came out.
You can always do that. If you're going to be nice to me, Yes, anyway, now the son wants me to do that. I will do it for him. I love him. And I will do it. I might have to call Mitten Mama 17 times while I'm doing it.
We need a Mitten Mama cooks.
We need a cookbook.
From Mitten Mama?
Yeah.
What else she cook? She
cooks everything.
Everything?
Everything.
I bet a good macaroni.
They go live almost every night cooking something different.
Really?
Y'all, I'm not kidding.
Where's the cookbook?
Cookbook.
Boom.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I've never met anyone that's ever said, oh, you know what? I had a back injury or I had a back surgery or neck surgery. I'm a new man. No, I ain't heard that. That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. And I'm not falling for it. Now, Catherine, is there anything that you want to share with everyone about your life?
Hey, guys.
Cat's Corner.
It's Cat's Corner. It's going to be decorated soon.
I know. Okay. She's going to F up my whole damn thing here.
You said we need to decorate your corner.
I was high. I wasn't high. I don't get high.
We're going to put lights up.
That might change, though. Sorry, go ahead.
Paintings that I've painted is going to be up because I'm a painter sometimes if I'm feeling in the mood. There's going to be a tree.
That's true.
A big plant. Anyway. Cat's Corner. I don't really have much to talk about except exams. I have 2 classes each 7 weeks. That's the Randolph way. And I have that would look nice. See? Deborah agrees. So I have intro stop it. I have intro to theater and video production 1. In video production, we all wrote a script, a 3-minute screenplay, and they chose mine to direct. So I directed it. Thank you. I am Baby 681.
What is that?
It's Tara. It's Tara.
All right.
Anyway, so I got to direct that, and now we're moving into the editing process. It will be on my YouTube channel when it's done. It's going to be 3 minutes. I wrote it, directed it, and I had a team of lighting, sound, and camera people.
That was so cool to watch those, all of them holding up boom mics and shit.
Yeah. I guess I can. You know what, guys? The other one's we have a behind the scenes video I'll upload on my YouTube channel. I didn't edit it. My friend Choco edited it. That's his name. That's his nickname. His name's Choco. Choco.
Okay.
His uncle gave it to him. So that's gonna be on there. And the 3-minute video is gonna be on there. My good friend DJ. Should I give his name's DJ?
I don't think they're gonna be able to
track him down. That's his nickname. And so I was acting in it. So yeah. And then in my other class, intro theater, we had to write 7-minute plays. And some got picked to direct and stuff. I got picked to act in one. My show didn't get picked. We all can't be perfect, I guess.
Know. It's true.
I know. I got 95 on the script, and it's like, oh, God. I couldn't get 5 extra points for 100.
I know it. That sucks.
I cannot get 100 in that class, no matter what. I always get 90, 95, 96.
Have you ever thought about paying them off?
I don't think so. I don't have that much. I'm a college kid, and we all know what happened last week.
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
I'm going to start assistant stage managing in the next production. I wish I had classes like that. Yeah, Randolph, this is the first year they're doing a film and video major. So I got in there at the right time. Perfect timing. I got in there.
Well, they also plucked everybody that was good in all the schools around here and gave them, free rides, actually.
For the freshman year. I'm praying for my other 3 years. And, yeah, it's about, honestly, Randolph's a private college. It's not that expensive.
It's pretty expensive.
Compared to other places, compared to other colleges.
Yeah. Are you done yet?
No, Mom. I still have, a few minutes. I don't know. B complex helps with nerve pain.
Does it?
Yeah. That's what Peggy said.
I'm going to go get some tomorrow. Hey, traders, baby. It's in the middle of Cat's Corner, so I can't interrupt. Hey, baby.
She getting all her papers together.
I am sorting through what I have written down in the last couple of years here.
I saw a show at my old high school last night. It was good.
You said it wasn't.
Mom!
I'm just saying. I said it wasn't.
It was good. I would have made different choices.
Okay.
It was good though. You know, when a stage manager sees a show, I'm not really
He's judging.
No, I'm not. I'm not looking at the acting. I am, but I'm more looking at the scenic decisions and the scenic runners. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Are you done yet? God bless America. You've been talking for 30 minutes. Can get this deal with the Oscars are getting ready to come on. I might win an award.
Yeah, we did. We uploaded this parody that we posted the other day.
Yes.
So I think it's nominated.
I mean, if I got another snub from the Oscars when I'm, trying to give them my parodies, which are golden, and I keep getting snubbed, it only makes me want to fight harder.
Oh, Mitten Mama said, Shannon, you were so lucky to have baby 681.
Oh, I am. I know
You can't follow that.
Because she'll be bringing that up for the next 10 years.
Stop it.
Catherine will be doing that for the next Mitten Mama day in my life.
Yeah, actually, every comment, every compliment I get, I frame it and I put it on my wall.
She does too.
So actually, it's gonna be right here. Right here is gonna be comments about how much everyone loves me. Right here.
Okay, well, talk to us. Traders. I'm telling you.
Oh, bye,
you're
guys.
one of the best.
I'm leaving.
And you are gonna go. Oh, so sorry.
You
Bye.
pushed me out of the chair.
I did push her out the chair. It's my time. Oh yeah, you went way over.
No, I didn't.
Bye.
You started Cat's Corner late.
Okay, so
we started Cat's Corner late because you talked first. It's supposed to be the first 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye guys.
Okay, good love you. Bye.
Bye guys.
Oh, traders. We need to get on the phone and do this because that would be hilarious. I would be hilarious. Okay. Bye, honey.
Bye.
Love you.
Hope you guys like Cat's Corner.
Everybody loves Cat's Corner.
Everyone loves Cat's Corner.
So, okay. Boys on the tracks. Hello, lucky lady. I'm sorry, I've missed all y'all coming in when she was running her mouth. Hello, everyone that I've missed. Sorry. What I'm going to do is okay. Boys on the tracks, plural. There is so much information. Absolutely. Hey, Freeside, I love you, baby. There are so many. Bye, baby. Bye, baby. Bye, baby, Shannon. There's so much information with this case. And unfortunately, it kind of draws your eye away from the boys, right, that were murdered. And it takes you all the way to Clinton's presidency. Okay. So when you're talking about these two boys, Kevin and Don, the more you dig, the further you get away from them. It is what it is. But you have to, because this is so far reaching. So I thought, like last night, I was thinking, okay, I ran across. Thank you, Mom. I try to start eating hot sauce on your egg. I can't afford eggs. Who's affording eggs? You know what? I don't think I've ever had hot sauce on them, but I think that will be good. I mean, that would be good. Laura Lee, I couldn't do it last night. I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. I was in so much pain. I had flex railed me. I didn't even know what noodle. I looked like a wet noodle, honestly. Helped, but I mean, yeah, I would have been sitting in the chair doing circles in my chair, talking about, butterflies and shit. The fuck was that? All right, sorry. Notorious Ash, head slapper. Oh, the medical examiner with. He made so many asinine calls. Like I was saying, what we're gonna have to do kind of is recap. Because these boys, the headless person who had an ulcer and died of that, that was done before the boys were dead. I'm pretty think. Nope, I might be wrong about that. and we're going to go through how Clinton, I think, okay, where did I write? I wrote all this shit down. Clinton was governor 1979 to something else. And then again, I wrote it down somewhere. Malek was brought on in his first term. Jameson, thank you very much. I clean up well. I try anyway. I have all this. I mean, I hate it because it just takes us away from the boys. But so we'll do a little recap of the boys went hunting. They were going to spy Pink Banjo. Thank you. I am. I appreciate it. Oh, I said last week that right after it might have been the headless guy. I really don't know. That is when Governor Clinton said, you know what? He deserves a 44% raise. And, the legislature said, okay. So he was making $117,000 a year in the 80s. Okay, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money now. But back then it was a lot. So we had the boys. That Malek said that they had smoked 20 joints. Remind you, they left Don's house at 12 o'clock. They were found, well, I say found, they were run over by a train at 4 a.m. And he actually said that these boys smoked 20 joints in that amount of time. Okay. And let's go through with the EMTs and the people on the train. And the people on the train, I guess because of animals that they hit or whatever, knew. Oh, yes. Oh, trainers. They knew what old blood looks like. And when I say old blood, obviously your blood stops moving when you're dead. All right. And I looked it up, how long it takes for it to actually start to get a little bit darker, and it doesn't, sometimes it's 30 minutes. Sometimes it's 3 hours. It's different, but it starts immediately. So when the train was coming and the conductor, engineer, I think that's what they call it now, when he hit those boys, he said it was dark red or purple blood. And he knew that those boys were dead when they got hit. The EMT in their report, this is very dark blood. They were probably dead before the train hit them. And then Dr. Malek said, no. Yes, they had smoked 20 joints and they were laying on the, on the tracks and they couldn't get up. And they was, sleeping. And no, Hazel Friday, how you love. I miss y'all so much. So yeah, Malek said 20 joints and they got hit by a train. I think what the people, this is such a far reaching. Okay, so when he said that, all right, the parent said, I did not think so. And they got another examiner who said, Don was stabbed in the back multiple times, and Kevin had his head bashed in with Don's gun that was still sitting on the ground. So Malek, at this point, I think that's when Arkansas went, hold on a minute. Who is this dude? Now we do know that Malek helped Bill Clinton's mother when Bill Clinton's mother was a nurse, anesthesiologist or whatever, nurse, and she had to take a girl got hit in the face. Y'all remember this? I'm just recapping. A girl got hit in the face with cement. She went to the hospital. It wasn't a rush job. They just, she had pretty bad facial injuries, but it was nothing that required an immediate, operation. So about 9 o'clock that morning, they took her in, right? And because she had nose, mouth, where a lot of the problem was. So when they went to work on they finished the mouth, and then they went to go and work on the nose. So the oxygen had to be taken out of her nose and put down her throat, or vice versa. And Bill Clinton's mother couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. So we don't really know how long that child was that without oxygen. The ear, nose, and throat guy that was doing the operation finally went around and said, "Let me help you. Can we just do this?" And that if she was 17 years old, she went into cardiac arrest, and Dr. Malik said that was nothing to do with how she, nope, she died from the concrete to the face, and that the guy who threw it needed to be in jail, even though they were yelling. Anyway, Shannon, I have read the book, but I haven't read it yet because there's a lot of information out that I did not get. Like, I didn't watch the Clinton Chronicles. I didn't want anything to cloud my judgment. I don't need any more information. I don't generally look at anything else on YouTube about the boy. There's a lot, all right? I don't look at that because I don't want somebody else's opinion. I want to make my own opinion. I think I am going to get the book, though, because hey, Skullgirl, this is effed up. This is effed up to no degree. So let's see, I think we got there. We talked about Dan Harmon, and I got Jared, I can't remember his name, who oh my God, a Judge John something, decided that these two prosecutors would be the special prosecutors and report back mainly to the parents. You could not have picked two worse people in the world to do that, because Don Harmon was involved. There were at least 5 people supposedly on the tracks that night, and they were looking for, and we'll have to go through this again, but a guy named Seal had set up the Minya airport in Arkansas, small one, for his drug trafficking. All right. He was also working for the government. And how do I know this? I don't. No, I read it. So we're going to have to go back to the 1980s and Iran, Contra, and Nicaragua. And we were supplying weapons for the rebels in Nicaragua. I know it's insane. There is an actual law that says that America can't do that. All right. And neither can any state do that. What they did, however, do is hire the drug dealer. I think it's Barry Seal is his name. And he screwed over Pablo Escobar. He screwed over a lot of people. And he was murdered before the boys were. He was murdered by Pablo Escobar. Maybe you've heard of it. Quite a yeah. I think he only got caught maybe 10 years ago. So they had Mr. Seal murdered. Now, everybody in that area of that airport and these tracks would report low-flying planes in the middle of the night with no lights on. Hey, Robin. So, and nobody, the Sheriff Sneed didn't really care, but there were complaints. Just like when the boys died, Sheriff Sneed was like, well, I don't know, why are we investigating it? They got hit by a train, they were high. He couldn't have given a shit less, right? So we have to remember too, let me pull out this. So many people were murdered after these boys were murdered. And they were murdered. Okay, we know that for a fact. They were murdered. Who did it? There's about, I'm trying to think, literally probably 50 people that could have done it. However, yeah. All right, so I'm going to remind everybody, let me pull these out. I also found, this is interesting, I found where Linda Ives, which is Kevin Ives' mother, would submit FOIA requests. And what she would get back from the CIA, from the FBI, were heavily redacted reports. Either they said, we don't have anything like that, we don't even know who these boys are, or she would get a pack of redacted information. So my thing is, okay, if the CIA and the FBI and the local government weren't involved, why does the CIA have files on these boys? Why are they redacted? They're just two kids on them. We have to ask ourselves that. So I'm going to pull that up after we, rehash. We have to rehash. And I will introduce to you tonight, a old, decrepit professional wrestler who claims he was there the night when the boys were placed on the track. Let's just write out, absorb that. He claims he was there on the night that the boys were murdered because he was working for, the government, Dan Harmon and all them. So let's see. Let me go through this. Malik. Let's do this real quick. Dr. Malik also, the people in his under him, right, in his office, said that one, he had kept stationery from his predecessor in the drawer, and he would use that to also falsify old records. If somebody came up and said, we need to pull the records of Bocephus Johnson, he would get the old stationery out, right, and write up whatever he wanted and put it back in there like it was always been there. That's number one. How would he would do? He actually got one case. He every time he testified, he was usually overturned. He mixed up two tissue samples and DNA samples together. I guess because he didn't want, I don't know why. I don't know why I did it. He was an idiot. Okay. So just like with, I'll tell you what he did to Kevin Ives' head. I think they thought that a train hitting two boys was going to just destroy everything. And they were very wrong about that because it did not destroy the heads. Also, blood pools. As soon as you start dying, as soon as you die, blood starts pooling to the lowest point. If you're sitting up and die, it's going to go down to your butt and down to your legs. Okay. It's just going to drop. There's nothing. So they could look at the boys and say, well, they had blood pooling on this. They left one boy's foot. There. They were so not worried about collecting these children. They left Kevin Ives' foot on the track, and the family found it. Let's go through this. Y'all gonna say she's making this shit up. I am not. Grand juries actually they overrode Dr. Malik a lot. So these are the deaths that took place. Okay. Garrett. I can't remember Garrett's first name. Anyway, Mr. Garrett, when Unsolved Mysteries decided to cover this case, Mr. Garrett, who was in with Mr. Harmon, was on the show and was taking all of the tips, right? He would write them down. They didn't go through through a sheriff. They went through this piece of shit fucking prosecutor. And oddly enough, most of the people that called him tips ended up dead. I don't know. Could be something to it. And Mr. Malik, Dr. Malik, very lovingly just said, oh, yeah, no. Because the guy without the head was actually somebody that was supposed to testify for the grand jury. The one who, if you weren't here, a person died, his head was gone. Dr. Malik showed up and said, took him back to the, I guess, medical whatever, and said, listen, guys, he died of a stomach ulcer. His dog ate his head, even though there were marks, serrated marks on the neck. He said, yeah, the medium-sized dog just ate the whole head. And how do I know this is true? Well, because I got the dog and I got its vomit and it had brains and skull in it. And that's how I know. A couple days later, the head showed up. Not in the house, but whatever. We're not going to, he was supposed to. All right. And I took all of their photographs off of the thing here. And I probably shouldn't have, but I did. So these are the boys. Don Henry and Kevin Ives, best friends forever, 16, 17, regular, I know people, I know. Oh, no. So this is what it's all about, is these two kids. And I guess if there's, and this is horrible to say, if there's a silver lining on anything, and that's probably horrible to say, these boys are what got it going. The snowball started rolling and nobody could stop it after Malik did this. Okay. So let's talk about I've told you about Bill Clinton's mother, who was a nurse anesthetic. I can't even say that word. Okay. So Malik said that the girl died from the blow to the blunt force trauma to her face and not the lack of oxygen that happened when she couldn't get the, thing in there. Switch the two things. Yeah. So, and then people started looking into it. And then Bill Clinton's mother was fired as she lost all of her hospital privileges. So then she sued the hospital, right? Hospital said, listen, you killed this one. You got another one that's trying to sue you. Yes, that's right. She did it twice. She killed two people because she didn't know how to switch up the nose to mouth, mouth to nose. She didn't know how to do it. So, but guess what? Clinton's mother never saw any charges from it. Wonder why? I don't know. You can look up Bill Clinton. I'll tell you this, and maybe this is why I have such my father lives in Hot Springs, Arkansas. These people were from around Hot Springs, Little Rock, something like that. The home of Leticia, whatever her name is. I almost made a comment. I'm not going to talk about Ernie. I'm not going to talk about Leticia. Okay. I'm not. Unless they get together and start having babies that they don't want. Then I might cover it. But yeah, this is we're not going to do that. Anyway. Yeah. So I hate him so much because my father hated him. My father went to school with him. My stepmother went to school with him. And my dad couldn't stand him because Bill Clinton was just an awkward, doofus band, trumpet player. I think he played the trumpet, right? I think he did. And so my dad went off into the Air Force, right? And Bill Clinton headed for anywhere he could. And when you go back and look at this stuff, it's odd. Bill Clinton wasn't born Bill Clinton. He had a last name, another surname. And nobody knows who his father is. I go look him up. The name he was born with is not the name he is now. All right. Clinton it was a stepfather. So yeah, my dad said that between his mother and Bill Clinton's mother, about everybody in town probably could have been the father. His words, not mine. So the more I read about this guy, now let's just go through these deaths. We have Greg Collins. Greg Collins was subpoenaed to testify before a grand jury with regard to the death of Kevin and Don. He was found in the woods. If we remember right, Mr. Collins was found in the woods with 4 shotgun blasts. Okay, 3 to the chest, 1 to the face. And Mr. Malik, suicide. It was suicide. Okay. Yeah, we'll go through that. Richard Garrett, that's a damn one. And it was said that Richard Garrett and Dan Harmon had questioned Greg shortly before his murder, and Dr. Malik ruled it a suicide. I even put, let's review. Let's put it all again. Then we had Keith Coney. Now, Keith Coney claims to have been with the boys earlier that night. He also claims that he was with them when whatever dropped from the sky, right? And or these boys overheard something. I don't know, but he said he took off on his motorcycle, right, and got away. These boys did not. We've heard that they were the police, got them in town and drug them out there. We've heard that there's so many different stories on how these boys got murdered, but they were murdered nonetheless. So we have Keith Coney, who only 6 weeks before Greg Collins was killed and 6 months after Kevin and Dawn were killed, Keith was killed on a motorcycle. He ran into the back of a truck. Okay. You would think that's a really horrible accident. So we have witnesses. We have witnesses that said he was accosted by police officers. He jumped on his bike and took off. The police officers were following him, and the boy just kept looking back to see where they were, right? And then he hit the back of a truck. So you call that murder. I call it murder. It is murder. All right. So that's a big one. And Keith obviously was a friend of the boys. Okay. So, and I think last week we talked about the officers, but I can't remember. And let's see, March of 1989, Daniel Booney Burden, who also was supposed to testify, he'd been missing for 8 months. And they got a tip. They got a lead. They said, listen, go over to the Arkansas River. And there's an area there where he was probably buried. So the police went out there. They dug. They found his clothing, pieces of his clothing, but no body. He's never shown up again. That don't sound weird. And then we have Jeffrey Edward Rhodes. And he was a reported dealer. He told his mother that he feared for his life and called his father in Texas to say he needed to get out of Arkansas because he knew too much about the boys. And a little while later, Jeff's motorcycle was found on the side of the road with the kickstand down. And about a week later, his body was found in a trash dumpster. And he had suffered a gunshot wound. He had been mutilated. His body was, his hands, his feet, his head. And his head had been partially sawed off. Yeah. And he'd been set on fire. That's not at all weird. Yeah, is it? No. We have Keith McCaskill, who was also supposed to go to the grand jury to testify on November 10th, 1988. Now, these boys, this was August 23rd, 1987. That these boys were murdered. All right, so we're November and 88 now. Only 2 days after Sheriff Steed had lost his reelection, more about that later, Mr. Keith said, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. He told his mom, I'm fucked. He went on and made his, he arranged his own funeral, okay? He was 200 pounds and over 6 foot. He did own a bar, and it has been said he would break up any fight that was in that bar, and he did not need nothing. He was that big. So he is found in his house after he's made his own funeral arrangements, right? Yeah. And he had been stabbed 113 times. Yeah. That's a lot. There was blood and mayhem all over his house, where it was a absolute fight to the death, and he lost. They ended up charging his little neighbor, who was 19-year-old and slow. All right. And Mr. McCaskill was very good to this boy. He was slow. And so he said, the little boy said, he's not little, but Ronald Smith said that he was there the night that Keith was murdered. and that it was either a couple of men dressed in I don't know what, or 5 men dressed as clowns. So 3 in black, or 5 anyway, and that they stabbed him, the boy, right? No, the Keith. They had a gun on the kid, and they were stabbing him in front of the kid, right? And they made him stab the kid, Keith, 1 time or so, and took a picture of it. So anyway, he did go to jail, but he came right back out because that's stupid. That's one other one. I got more. I got more. I got so many more. None of this makes any sense. It's not going to make any sense. I'm telling y'all, absolutely go. And I know, hey, Gonzo Life. Yeah, and right. Hey, we're not talking about beheaded people. It's no fun around here. So I remember I talked to y'all about Charlene. Charlene was a drug dealer. Charlene, and she claimed in a 4-page confession she was on the tracks that night, that the boys were on the tracks, okay, and that she was there. Dan Harmon was there. If you believe, this wrestler was there, and 2 cops were there, up and down looking for the drugs. They would drop the drugs near the train track so you wouldn't have to go through all the woods, right? Yeah. So Charlene, bless her heart, I told y'all this too. She was a drug dealer, and when the cops had enough to go do they had undercover shit like that, they went to her house, and the door was not locked, and the screen door was there, and they went in, right? It was a warrant. It was serving a warrant. They went in the unlocked screen door. Charlene was in the bathroom flushing her stash, and she sued the department because they didn't knock on the door. You're supposed to knock and announce or whatever. She sued. In the town that she stood in, she won. But then it went to like a Supreme Court of Arkansas, and she lost. These are the kind of people we're talking about here. Dan Seal, like I told you before, made this little town his drop. He used to work in Baton Rouge, but he decided to come up to Arkansas, and there's reasons why, but we're gonna do this. So let me look. Let me look through here. Hold on. I always forget what I put in here. There they are again. Just a sweet. Can you imagine? Stabbed 113 times. There they are again. So handsome. And they didn't make it past this age right here. This is, these were taken right before they died, 16 and 17. So, yeah, that's a dramatization right here from the Unsolved Mysteries on how the bodies were laid. They were laid straight, right? Laid straight. They had a tarp. I'll talk about this tarp to the end of time. They had a tarp on them. The whole engineer and everybody that ran up to the, to the front car there to watch this, and they had a light green tarp that was kind of pulled up halfway. That tarp has never been found, and the police said it did not exist. And the police also said that everyone on the train must have seen the wrong thing. It was all right. It was a mile-long train. So by the time the engineer saw the boys, he saw it. He didn't know what it was. And he got closer, right? And he said, "Oh shit, these are kids." There was no way to stop it. A mile-long train. Yeah. So, yeah, it's. This is the conductor. I'm sorry, the engineer. That's the engineer. He's obviously traumatized, and he said there was about 10 to 15 seconds, right, that there's nothing they could do. And he said, if you don't think that 10 or 15 seconds is a long time, put yourself in my shoes. I knew we were bearing down on 2 kids. So I don't know if he ever got over it. I probably would never get over it. But anyway. Oh, that's Dr. Malik. Hey, Dr. Malik. You son of a bitch. Oh, sorry. That's my voice. I'm sorry. This is now I looked up James Steed. I looked in and looked and I looked and I looked. And there is nothing out there that I can find that said he was involved. But Keith McCaskill knew once he lost his election, he was dead, and he was. So a lot of these guys have got, I'll tell you right now, Dan Harmon went to jail. Oh, yes, sir. And yes, ma'am. He went to jail for a very long time. I wonder what. Could it have been drugs? Stay tuned. Then he got out, and then he reoffended. These people were drug addicts, okay? So I looked and I looked and I looked, and I really couldn't find anything that said he was dirty, you know. But I mean, if I get that book, it's probably going to tell me exactly, hey, mom jeans, hey, state of disorder. These are the parents. Now, Curtis and Marvell Henry, I really couldn't find a lot about them either. They were like Linda Ives over here on the right, and her husband Larry. Linda Ives, I'm telling you, these people did not plan on Linda Ives because she fought this for 33 years. She fought this. She died like in 2021 or 23. 71 years old. Never stopped. Never stopped. And they were not planning on her. The other ones, all, you know, Kevin's dad died. These two, I think, I don't know what. I think they just let Linda do what she was going to do because she was doing it for both boys and her son. James Steed was the sheriff, and he was the sheriff that decided he didn't really need to investigate this, but nothing went on. Mm-hmm. But like I said, when Keith Caskill said, if he loses the election, I'm dead. He lost the election and Keith was dead. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's talk about Dan Harmon for a minute. All right, that's Mr. Barry Seal. That is drug smuggler extraordinaire. Made a ton of money. Oh my God, all the money he made. He got in trouble down in Florida, though, and cut a deal. He was working for Pablo Escobar in the drug cartel, and this idiot decides he's going to make a deal. And a deal he did make. And other of his co-workers, put it that way, went down. And it was funny. I guess Pablo Escobar said, well, you know, my guy, our runners are dead, but this son bitch out of jail already. Oh. He did turn a blind eye. So when I look, we're going to go in a minute. I found the FOIA request. One of the last ones that she made, it was in 2016. And it speaks some of the, it's massive. Okay. It's massive. I'm not going to go through all of this with y'all because we'll be here for 3 days. Okay. I'm going to go over the very first, the first thing that you see is it's paragraphs 1 through 35. Now, so we go, they're very, paragraph 7 to paragraph 25 was actually from the book, The Boys on the Track. All right. It was in there. It was information that author found out. It's very interesting. After that, I think 25 to 35 is something else. But it's straight up. Oh yeah, he was smuggling the shit out of things, and right on that train track, you know. And supposedly, when the boys were out there with their light, right? Because if you're spotlighting deer, you do have rather a big light with you, and probably what might have, because they were only found a mile away from Don's house. Okay. So they were probably out there on the train tracks because I guess you could see the deer. When the other people who were trying to find the drugs saw them, heard them or whatever, the boys were murdered. I keep. I know. I didn't realize how much I talk with my hands. I talk with my hands a lot, and I never knew it till I started making videos. I'm like, if I look like I'm trying to fly, I think I'm trying to hit flight here. Okay, the stranger witnesses come forward. All these witnesses came forward. Oh yeah, somebody reported seeing a man in military fatigues also on the track that night. I mean, who the hell knows? All right. I'm making sure I got all this. Okay. We talked about some of the people that were murdered. We've talked about Doctor, if that's what you want to call him. Let's talk about Gene Duffy for a minute. And I hope I have a picture of Gene. Oh, there he is, that little bastard. Hey, Clinton. These are the redacted. Okay, here's the thing. Linda Ives got these in the mail. All right, when she wanted information, this is what they sent back. That. The CIA, the FBI sent that to her. If they're not involved, why the hell do they have, number one, why do they have any files on these two kids that, why do they have them? And two, if those two entities were not involved, why is it all blacked out? Because in the request, in the 2016 request, Linda Ives was like, y'all have sent me shit. Well, I mean, I'm paraphrasing. Y'all have sent me this shit for X amount of years. It's not going to work. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. And this is what she got. This is what she got. All she wanted to know was, why was my 17-year-old son murdered? He was murdered there, and we don't know. You'll see it. It's horrible. It's horrible. So let's talk about Linda Duffy. I'm sorry, Gene Duffy. Gene Duffy was she was from Hot Springs, Arkansas. She went to graduate school at Texas A&M. If you know anything about Arkansas and Texas, that's a no-no. Arkansas hates Texas. Texas hates Arkansas. But anyway, she came back to Hot Springs and she started law school. So she started clerking for a judge. This is going to kill you. This is going to kill you. So Dan Harmon was a prosecutor in that town. I'm hearing this to you. I have to, because you're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it. So in the summer of 1988, Dan Harmon called Miss Duffy and wanted to know if him and Mr. Garrett, the other judge, other lawyer, could come to her house that morning. It was like a Sunday morning. She was like, whatever, sure. So they show up and they ask her if she would work for James Garrett if he was elected prosecutor of the 7th Judicial District, made up of Saline, Hot Springs, and Grant County. She gladly accepted that she would do that. Okay, well, there's a problem. I'll tell you what the problem is in a second. So she gladly accepted it. So Gary Arnold is the one that ultimately won that judge. He was awarded the 7th district judge. Okay. She was working there and he kept her. Yeah. She learned quickly, because she was the prosecutor now, right? She learned very quickly how these good old boys handle things like DWIs or shit like that. Well, what happened was, if you got a DUI in any of these counties, Hot Springs, Grant, whatever, you could pay $2,000 and it's going to go away. No, it's going to go away. Not ever going to. Nope. Gone. And when Miss Duffy got there, she was like, oh, no. And so Dan Harmon at the time, who was also a prosecutor, like she was a prosecutor, got so mad and would get so just flaming angry at her, going, what are you doing? They had a prosecution rate of under 60% for DUIs in the counties. 60%. Okay. Yeah. So here we go. We're going to talk about it now. So you get the $2,000 and make it go away. Under 60%. So Duffy would make no deals with these guys. None at all. And after a very prominent defense lawyer went to her and says, you will not be in this job for 6 months. You're gone. You're out of here. This is not the way we do things. She was like, fuck off. And when she started prosecuting them, they went up to a 90th percentile in convictions. But I'm not done. No, I'm not done. So one of Dan Harmon's ex-wives, he had many, told Miss Duffy that Dan hated her because he was the one that invited her in to this office. Y'all remember him and Mr. Garrett went to her house and you want to work for us? He didn't win, but she was still there. So he was pretty pissed off. And Dan Harmon felt like Jean Duffy betrayed him. I don't know why doing your job is betraying, but whatever. So in March of 1990, Arnold's office, that's the new judge, received federal and state funding to set up a drug task force. So April 16th, 1990, that's when they were verified, they were set up and ready to go. Miss Jean Duffy was one of the administrators, okay, of that. So April 16th, 1990 is when the task force began to work. So eventually Duffy was approached to be the administrator, and she did. I told you that. All right. So the judge of the 7th district, that would be Mr. Arnold. Yeah, he was a little dirty. He protested very much. He didn't want Miss Duffy to be the administrator. I wonder why. I don't know. But he and Dan Harmon and all of them were starting to badmouth Miss Duffy, right? All over town, in the newspaper, on the news. Nevertheless, she was voted in unanimously by, it was only 7 people voting. So she got in there. Now, this is going to make you sick because it made me sick. So Judge Gary Arnold, who, walked into her office one night and looked her into the eyes and said, Jean, you are not to use your eye. You are not, sorry. He looked at her and said, Jean, you're not to use the task force to investigate any public officials. Jean, you're not going to use the task force to go after public officials. Okay. So next, she wanted to prosecute a rape case. After she spoke to the victim, she was going to get this guy arrested for rape. All right. She went to Judge Arnold and said, listen, I need you to sign it off. We got to go get him. He said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to prosecute him. And she was like, I'm sorry. He said, no. And then he told her, go get a Coke bottle. Okay. So she goes, she gets an empty Coke bottle. She brings it back. And he says, he's holding the Coke. No, let me find something. We'll just use this. All right. He said, I want you to stick your finger in the end of this Coke bottle. She was like, yeah. So then he started to move it around, right? He started to move it. And she was like, what are you doing? And he said that, and I'm going to quote him on this. He answered her, it's hard to hit a moving target. It takes cooperation from a female. And that's why he did not allow her to prosecute a rapist. I wish I was done, but I'm not. There was another child that was being raped. A child. And I am not going to go into the disgusting details of this. I wish I didn't know them. But that man also was not prosecuted. So, now, she was in this drug task force, right? she was basically told, you can't investigate anybody in this office. And then Dan Harmon, who was a prosecutor, was running around bad mouthing her and basically said, just, you know what, Gene, don't even do it. What is with the task force? We don't want this in our town. We don't want, basically, we don't want you to use the drug task force in our area. And I'll tell you why in a minute. All right. So this was around the time that Judge John Cole was made Dan Harmon and Duffy a special prosecutor, right, for the families of the boys. Harmon still kept going and talking about how horrible she was, right? There was an assistant U.S. attorney, Bob Gaver, and he had been compiling all this evidence against the staff of this town, right, of these towns, and he had a lot of evidence against them. And then she met with them and she gave him the rest of her evidence. And this was what they call a slam dunk, right? Slam dunk. However, what could go wrong? I'll tell you, Chuck Banks, who was Mr. Garver's boss, right, said, we're not going to do that. There's not going to be any drug and no indictments. Put it up. No. And there it went. So eventually the drug task force was dismantled because hid the cookie jar, right? Got the hand in the cookie jar. Down with that. So she's still to this day, Miss Jean Duffy, it's got some axes to grind there. And you have a U.S. attorney that also just happens to be investigating the same people, the same area. And then his boss is the one that said, no, we're not doing it. Okay. I wouldn't live there for all my life. I mean, my dad always said, you need to come live here. No, sorry. I'm just hold on, making sure I see them. Okay, so I forgot about this. The boss, the Chuck guy, said, I quote, "There's no evidence of any drug-related misconduct by public officials in Saline County," Mr. Banks said. Based on the 2 federal memos, though, alone, that was an absurd statement, okay? Additional evidence that Gene Duffy had brought to the task force, Chuck Banks said, nope, not going to do it. You're stupid, not going to do it. Asinine, you're stupid and asinine. I don't know if that's lawyer talk, but if it is, I'm a lawyer. They didn't want the traffickers, the repercussions that it all brought. Yeah. Do you see how this is getting away from the boys? We're not talking about those boys anymore. We're not talking about, and this is always I hate doing this. I hate doing this when everything all the evidence is away from the 2 boys that died. A lot more people died, obviously, in this, as we know. But the 2 boys, we haven't mentioned their name in a while, right? Because their name wasn't mentioned anymore. Because they're gone and it's over. And I guess people thought, well, it's over. They didn't plan on Linda Ives, though. I will tell you that. So there came a time when Mr. Clinton decided that he wanted to run for president. Now, for years and years and years and years and years, Bill Clinton had protected Dr. Malik. I don't know why. Could be because he kept his fucking mom out of jail. Oh, thank you, Cassandra. I love you, honey. Thank you. Your chicken and dumplings. Oh my gosh, great. Yeah. So when Clinton decided he was going to run for office, he said, "Oh shit, I'm going to have to do something with Dr. Malik here because he done made me look like a damn idiot." So when asked about the doctor, this is 3 weeks before he actually said, "I'm going to run for office." You knew he was going to do it, right? Somebody said, ask him about Dr. Malik, and Bill Clinton said, "Well, Well, I mean, yeah, he should probably go. I mean, he should probably just go. Just what do you mean just go? What does that mean? All right, so that is when Mr. Malik and his attorney said, "We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere." I think we touched on this last week, and that he would sue the doctor and his lawyer would sue if they tried to remove him from office. It wasn't going to work, and during this was a call-in show when Bill Clinton was specifically asked about Malik, and he said probably should quit. He probably should quit. Little did they know that there was a lot of jockeying behind the scenes, right? Because Malik was not going to go. He wasn't going to go. He's making all this money. He ain't going nowhere. Even though these boys brought him down. So then what ended up happening was, instead of firing him, right, they would call Malik and say, "Can you just please listen? Can you please just quit? Can you please just quit? Don't make us fire you. Don't make this into a big thing. Just quit." And he was like, "Nah, I ain't quitting." So they did end up finding him a suitable job, $70,000 a year for the sexually transmitted disease unit of Hot Springs, Arkansas. I've been to Hot Springs. There's a lot of probably STDs out there. I'm just saying. And we got him. All right. So then we got all these boys that went missing: Mike Staples, Jordan Kettleton, James Millam. That's the one with the head gone. Richard Winters. All these people died after they had either getting ready to talk to the grand jury or had just talked to. So I mean, these are a lot of boys, people, whatever. They're gone. This is more about her. Let's see. I know Austin. I know. All right, I know. Oh, I know that. That's Charlene, and Charlene is the one with the 4-page confession. She claims she was surrounded by nothing but cops when she wrote her confession. But why wouldn't you be around cops? And it's not like you're doing it at home at the kitchen table. I know, right? Crazy train. So she is the one that said, "I was there with Dan Harmon, me, I guess the 2 cops, and we're going to hear a minute from this idiot damn wrestler." All right. Then she recanted all of it. I mean, that's what I would do if I was her too. I ain't going to lie. I would absolutely do it. Why not? All right. Let me try to find. I wrote a very, yesterday I was in a pissy mood. I ain't going to lie. So I'm in pain. I'm not very nice. It was about Clinton. It's here somewhere. Hold on. I was so mad. I got to thinking about this shit. Let's put ourselves in these parents' shoes, right? I can't imagine. So I wrote this. All right. So we go. All right. So Clinton was the Attorney General of Arkansas from 1977 to 1979. He was the governor of Arkansas from 1979 to 1981, and then again from 1983 to 1992. Okay. He was the president from January 20, 1993, all the way up to January 20, 2001. All right. So now we know where that fucker's been. Now, so after protecting Malik for decades, Clinton all of a sudden thinks he should quit. After Malik lied in regards to Clinton's mother being responsible for the death of 2 girls, he didn't want to fire him. Okay. After Malik faked, fabricated, and invented the manner of death for countless murder victims, countless, Clinton didn't want to fire him. After Clinton raised Malik's salary by 40%, didn't want to get rid of him. After Clinton refused for several years to dismiss the medical examiner, all of a sudden he didn't want to. After the state crime laboratory, who were appointed by Clinton, backed Malik, all of a sudden Clinton wants to get rid of him. After hiring 2 out-of-state pathologists for these boys, all right? They were paid $20,000 from Clinton's discretionary fund. So to cover Malik on the deaths of 2 kids, Clinton paid $20,000 each to 2 pathologists, had them come in and say that Malik was the best guy ever. Wonderful. What a wonderful, how lucky you people are. Yeah, anyway. After Malik misread a medical report, it claimed he was going to file murder charges against the man up under him who did the autopsy, because Mr. Dr. Malik misread the chart. There's a symbol apparently for talking to the family about removing life support and then just removing it. Dr. Malik read it wrong and was almost going to prosecute one of the people in his office for murder. After it was proven that Malik's testimony about a DNA that he mixed up tissue samples, he was still not going to let him go. And then all of a sudden, 3 weeks before Clinton announced his presidential campaign, he pushed Malik, who was appointed during his gubernatorial term, 10 years, to resign. But then Clinton administration found Malik a very well-paying job in the state level. That was Dr. STD, whatever the fuck he was. So this is all the shit that Malik did that we know of, that Bill Clinton was not worried about. Not worried about. I can't tell you. Now, here's what I'm thinking too. I just get pissed off at this. Had these parents not pushed and said, my son did not smoke 20 joints. And then, Don Henry said, his mother and father said, Don would never have put his rifle on the ground, especially in rocks. And that's where it was found. That's when his dad knew. But the parents knew that this was wrong. They hired another pathologist from Georgia. He came up and said, this is wrong. How many people died naturally? And how many were murdered that Malik covered up for? You would have to basically dig up, I don't know how many hundreds of people, thousands of people maybe, to figure that out. And you couldn't be able to figure out now because they're, could be. So how long was this going on? How long was this guy making these asinine fucking, their mid-sized dog ate their head off. And then the head was found. So what actually put this guy, I said, these parents pumped the brakes on this guy. I'm shuddered to think how many. There's Miss Linda right there. She did not let up. She did. Austin. Okay, let's talk about Billy Jack Haynes. Oh, here we go. All right, let's get up. Where's my piece of paper on that motherfucker? This just gets dumber and dumber as you go. Dumber and dumber and dumber. All right. Again, we're going way far away from these boys. But, what the fuck did I do? Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. I just had it down here. Catherine, probably. Catherine! Just kidding. Catherine, no. Okay, here we go. Here's Billy Jack Haynes. There you go. There he is. Ain't he sweet? Let's get to a good pair. All right, that's back in the day. That's back in the day. Let me get. So, in a video posted on January 23rd, 2018, Billy Jack Haynes, a well-known wrestler in the 1980s, said he witnessed the murders of Kevin and Don. Haynes claimed he taped the train running over the boys. Okay? This was from the Sun in the UK. Now, you have to be very, we have rags here, Inquirer, shit like that. The in England, they have the Sun. And the Sun is a daily paper. Not like not like Star Magazine. It only comes out once a week. They got a daily paper. you're going to find some fucked up shit in there. Is it wrong? I don't know. But anyway, he was talking to them. So the former wrestler claimed that the boys were murdered after stumbling upon a drug deal involving corrupt cops and high-level U.S. politicians. And I wish I could remember the name of the two police officers that or everyone says is responsible for killing. Anyway, okay, so he admitted that he was once involved in a cocaine smuggling network that was a Pablo Escobar Medellin cartel in California. Okay, so Haynes alleged that he was there when the boys were killed after being drafted by a politician who wanted to use him as muscle for the drug drop. Now, let's stop for a second. Okay. You have a fairly well-known wrestler in the 80s. This happened in the 80s. Okay. So why would you, if you wanted muscle for your drug smuggling, why do you pick this son of a bitch right here, who people might know, right? People might know him. Oh, that Blackjack. Oh, Billy Blackjack. Why do you pick a well-known wrestler to be your muscle in a little town in Arkansas? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I'm not a criminal mastermind. I mean, I could be though, but I'm with this shit. But anyway, okay, so I even wrote, look, I have questions. You see that? Where is it? Shit. And Pink goes, I have questions. I like to talk to myself during my note taking. Hey, Kathy Harmon, my love. He claimed the boys saw a plane dropping off bags of cocaine to the cops. He claims they fled but were caught and beaten to death by the corrupt cops. And then I put, even the autopsy mentioned no signs of being beat up. Just wasn't. It would have been there. Their heads were fine. I know this is so disgusting to talk about, but what the train did, okay, and what these people thought the train was going to do was destroy everything. The way the boys were laid, and this is very graphic, and I'm sorry, trigger warning. Obviously, so the train came out, and because they were lined up exactly the same, with their upper body on one side of a track and their legs on the other side of a track, and obviously their body was on the actual tracks. The heads were fine, the feet were fine. There was nothing to the face. Nothing in the autopsy from the second pathologist mentioned anything about anything like that. So that's a lie right there. And I'm sure they were looking. Haynes denied having a hand in the murders, but admitted helping to dump the bodies on the tracks with the aim of making it look like a tragic accident. Several of the officers named in Haynes' confession reportedly went on to be convicted on unrelated drug charges. Haynes said that is said to have had a history of making far-fetched claims relative of the boys. Hope his statement will be investigated. It was not. On February 8, 2024, Haynes was arrested in Portland, Oregon after a 2-hour standoff with police after killing his 85-year-old wife, who was suffering from dementia. In February 28, 2024, he was charged with second-degree murder and is still in police custody awaiting trial. If he had the trial yet, I could not find it out because, believe it or not, there ain't a whole lot about Blackjack Haynes here. And then we'll go through. This is him after he murdered his wife. I mean, but this is the man, obviously, that would have been there. Again, I'm no criminal mastermind. I just play one on YouTube. I would not hire Blackjack Haynes, but whatever. And there he was. I think this is actually if I'm not mistaken, this is actually from the the video that they're talking about. I think he sat down and talked to somebody. But I didn't listen to it, right? Because I don't want to pollute myself. So, all right. And here's his wife that he murdered. Okay. This is all that's left. This is this is to the two boys, obviously. It is a bench. It has their names on it. Don't be not forgotten. Remember, this is all that there is left. Unless you want to, oh, that's Mr. Haynes. I'm sorry, that is Mr. Harmon. We have Larry Ives' grave right there, right? And we have Don Henry's grave right there. They shouldn't be there. They should not be there. This bench and those shouldn't be there. But they are, right? They are. Let's go back. So let me talk to you a little bit about Don Harmon and what happened later on with Mr. Don Harmon. Got a little spark of trouble. So throughout the years, Harmon was driven out of office in 1996. That would be during his second term as a prosecutor, because he beat up a reporter for the Democrat Gazette. He was convicted in 1997 of federal racketeering, extortion, and drug conspiracy charges and was sentenced to 8 years in prison. 3 more were tacked on to that because of a subsequent drug conviction. He was released in 2006 after helping prosecutors in a murder conspiracy case. And in 2008, Harmon was back on the government payroll. He was working as a clerk inside the courthouse, digitalizing old cases. Yeah, I wonder. The Arkansas Supreme Court disbarred him in 1999. Now, Harmon was convicted of using his position as prosecutor to obtain money and drugs and to have sex. Convicted drug dealers testified at his trial that he demanded money to drop all the drug charges. One woman testified that Harmon offered to drop charges against her husband if she had sex with him. You're seeing the downfall of my life. That is what Don Harmon told a reporter. You're seeing the downfall of my life, which is women. He thinks that the downfall of his life was women. Maybe it was drugs, but I'm just saying. 2010, he was held on charges that he sold drugs to undercover cops. A warrant was issued as part of the drug investigation that lasted 6 months. Sheridan Assistant Police Chief Brent Cole said, "We saw him in town and we took him down in a traffic stop. The reason they did that is because he was so violent." Do you remember me talking about the ex-wife that told Gene Duffy that he hated her? Oh, honey, that was an ex-wife. All right, he had many, and he beat the shit out of a lot of them. So, yeah, that's why they had to take him. Like, they didn't want him to fight, I guess. I don't know. He was held on one count of selling morphine and hydrocodone. The charges were enhanced because the purchase was near a school. Harmon had a history of combativeness, having been accused by police of assaulting 2 of his former wives and fighting with sheriff's deputies during a past arrest. He tried to flee a drug arrest in Conway. Get ready for this. About 900 criminal cases in Saline County had to be dropped because Harmon did not bring the defendants to trial within 1 year, which is what is required by the law. So he just wouldn't bring the case. He just wouldn't bring the case. 900 criminal cases had to be dropped. This is all through his career, okay? This isn't a couple of months. Through his entire career, 900 cases had to be dropped because he just didn't bother filing them within a year. That's not counting the cases of DUI where if you could pay $2,000, it was over with. 60 percentile prosecution rate when he was in charge, 90 percentile when Miss Duffy was in charge. Okay. And so this, I think, is his last one. Now, I believe his last set of charges the jury found him not guilty. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. So this is him, like ratty. I had one when he was actually like younger. It was him and Garrett. Now, Mr. Garrett, what was his name? James Garrett? I can't remember. The guy that was tag teaming with him, trying to fuck some parents over on their dead kids. He actually retired a judge. He retired a judge. So yeah, I mean, so let me, yeah, that's it. So let me let me get this down. We're going to remove that. And then we're going to, oh shit. I hope we're going to, oh, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I'm back. Oh, God. Hold on. Okay. I need to present. Okay. Let me present. And we're going to screen share. And we're going to screen share. And we're going to let's pick this one. Let's see what this is about. Okay. This is, let's go back one. Can I go back one? All right, yeah. All right. Well, let's just, okay, here we go. Now, this is Ives versus the United States. And you can see it was filed on 8/24/2016. It was closed September 18th, 2019. Case description. Linda Ives. Can y'all see that? Let me make sure y'all can see that. In fact, do I need to make this much bigger? I think I do. Let's make this huge. Let me see. I never know. All right, it's not even. This is why I didn't know about using it because it's so hard to see for y'all. But I'll just read some of it as we go because it's just unbelievable. All right, so Linda Ives submitted FOIA requests. Oh, and let me just tell you, the link to this is in the description. So if you want to go back and look at all this, and it's very interesting. It says a lot. So Linda Ives submitted FOIA requests to this FBI, CIA, and DEA, and a number of other federal and state agencies for records concerning the death of her son 29 years earlier as the result of a drug deal gone bad. The FBI located a number of documents and released more than 700 pages, referring to many pages to the DEA for direct response. That's when she got shit that was redacted, in case you did not know. So we also had the government would play this little game of they just wouldn't answer the you see this right here, defendant terminated, all that. Central Intelligence Agency, you don't see it. I'm sorry that you don't. I can't make it any bigger. Where they got the paper. Oh shit, we gotta, okay, well, let's just not do anything. And then it'll go away. I mean, that's what happens all the time. All right, so let's move over to here. That is from her lawyer. And this is on April. So this is 2012. All right. And this is him trying to get in touch with the Central Intelligence Agency, fax number, Freedom of Information Act. And it's basically him asking on behalf of his client to release the information. And not much happened. Now, here's what we're gonna, this is the, okay. Hold on. All right, I want y'all to see the top of this. I hope you can see that. Hold on. See, this is like, it's a lot of information here. It's a lot of really, troubling information, but I want to get all the way up to the top because I want y'all to see how many people she has in this. It's quite amazing. Like I said, she won't plan it. They won't plan it on her. All right, here we go. Can you see this? I hope you can see this. Or maybe if I make this bigger. No, wait a minute, because it took me forever to. Can I do that? No, I can't do that. I can't do that. Let me make it a little bit bigger though. That's some kind of help. But all right, let's look at here. Look at all the Linda Ives versus United States of America, Central Intelligence Agency, Defense Intelligence Agency, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, Drug Enforcement Administration, Federal Bureau of Investigations, United States Attorney's Office, United States Department of State, and the state of Arkansas, and Bryant Police. And do you see how many people she did not give up, not even a little bit. So when you start reading this, it's a lot. I'm not going to read it to you, but I do want you to go look at it because it is so disturbing. So the complaint for freedom of information, I'll just read some of it. Number one, she is suing them for refusal to comply with the the Freedom of Information Act in this district. The court has jurisdiction and, and venue under all the blah, blah. The defendants listed from the Central Intelligence Agency down, but not including the state of Arkansas, are federal agencies doing business in this federal court district. As a reminder up to the defendants that the state and local agencies, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now we're going to go here. Plaintiff is a resident. Some of this is heartbreaking, and I say that being a mother. Plaintiff is a resident of Saline County, Arkansas, and is the mother of Larry Kevin Ives, who died August 23rd, 1987. His body was found, let's go down, in Saline County, along with Don Henry, although they may have died elsewhere. Plaintiff has been trying for 29 years to learn how her son was killed, why, and by whom, and has been met with stonewalling at every turn. Plaintiff is trying by this action to learn how her son was killed, by whom, and how, and why, and the cause of, she just, here we go. The death has been subject of several national, international shows. The defendant agencies have conducted investigations into the death of the plaintiff's son. Plaintiff has filed freedom of information request, but the defendant agencies they didn't receive adequate response. It's just on and on and on and on and on. But when we get to, let's see, paragraph 7 to 25 is actually, if you can see this, I hope you can. I don't think you can though. Here's the boys on the tracks right here. A majority of the following paragraphs, 7 to 25, are from the Boys on the Tracks, which is the book. And here they're saying who wrote it, who published it, what apparently Dr. Malik originally reported that the deaths were accidental from being run over by a train due to THC intoxication. In May 1988, Dr. Burton, then medical examiner for the DeKalb County and senior consultant pathology for Cobb County, that's in Georgia, y'all, conducted a new round of autopsies on Dan and Kevin and concluded that their deaths were definitely homicides. Now, there's something very interesting in here. And I would think if this was obviously an official document, okay, that Miss Ives and her attorney submitted. So any excerpts 7 to 25, I would think would be true. And so that brings us to a very odd part. So we're just gonna go up here. We're talking about the book. Okay. We talk about Charlene Wilson, who said that Rodney Wright, Sheriff Rodney Wright, Jack Cassidy, all these people were there when the child. I can say this: Dan Harmon, who was said to be there, when he left the area, he had blood all over his pants. So, I mean, again, these bodies were vaporized at some point. Okay, I hate to say it. So there was a lot of spray. Okay, so the author of the book then discusses, let me make sure I have it on. Yeah, then discusses the history of Barry Seal and his drug smuggling into Minya, Arkansas Airport. Internal Revenue Service agent Bill Duncan was asked by the U.S. Attorney Asa Hutchinson. Now, when I saw that name, I'm like, I've heard that name before. Where did I hear that name? And through some of my books, there is an Asa something or other in California back in the 20s and 30s that I read about. I'm like, give me him. Well, we're going to find out. You're going to find out in a minute. All right. So Asa Hutchins, they asked him to look for evidence of money laundering, which Duncan found. Duncan reported that Seal had a Learjet, helicopters, military cargo planes, several smaller planes, 2 ships with navigational equipment, and 1 which had a helipad. That's Barry Seal. I'm going to read that again to you. He had a Learjet, helicopters, plural, military cargo planes, plural, several smaller planes, plural. Sorry. 2 ships, plural, with navigational, and 1 had a helipad. I mean, you ain't living until you living like a drug smuggler. Seals said in a federal drug trial in Las Vegas, Nevada, in 1985, that he flew 10 flights a year for 10 years, carrying from 600 to 1,200 pounds of cocaine each trip. The cocaine being worth between $20,000 and $50,000 a pound. That was back in the day. President Ronald Reagan authorized the CIA to undertake a program to support the Contras in Nicaragua. But the Boland Amendment prohibited the CIA from assisting the Contras, which were the rebels back then. So Boland, okay, they couldn't do that. So the Boland Amendment was an amendment in legislation 1984. All right, so what they decided to do was they would pour money into Arkansas to Mr. Barry Seal so that he had a plane shot down over Nicaragua, by the way, Mr. Seal did. So that's a lot of what this is. DEA and the CIA decided they could get around it. They got him, and he did it. Plane in Nicaragua, he would take guns and money. And it was not a violation of the Boland Amendment because it was from a state. Okay, these people are crazy. Asa Hutchins actually was a governor of Arkansas, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he ran for president. So he just as dirty as other ones, probably. Let me see. Let me go back up here because there is a cop that they talked to. And the cop says in the book now that the boys were going to steal. Let me just get out of this. Hold on. Let me get out. Because at this point, we're done. I mean, we're done. Yeah, there's just too much information here. So let me stop sharing. All right. I put way too much leave-in conditioner. So basically, this person told the author of the book that the boys found the drugs and were going to steal the drugs. And I don't know what 2 boys were going to do with 20 pounds or 100 pounds or 1,200 pounds, 60 pounds of cocaine, but whatever. And that's why they were murdered. If you read these things, and it's in the description, and you go through, and you go through, and you go through, and every single thing that piece of evidence that Linda Ives and her lawyer, it's all in evidence, meaning it's all everything they talk about in the very long thing is all in evidence. You can go look at all that too. So basically, these boys died because nasty people, pieces of shit, decided that they weren't going to change their life any by well, they had a great job selling drugs, I guess, and that these two boys were going to bring him down. Probably could have brought him down. I don't know. Right? Maybe. I know, right? So, yeah. Linda Ives died a couple of years ago. I've got it written down somewhere. She fought to the day that she died. She had a daughter as well. And Linda was not a grandmother. I don't know why. She should have been. She should have been the mother at a graduation. She should have been a mother at the graduation from college. She should have been a mother of the groom. She should have been a grandmother. She should have been all these things, and she wasn't. And she never let them forget it. Look, I am so impressed by that woman. 29 years, 33 years in all, that she did not stop for a minute. It was constant. I'm surprised that she, boy, was listening to the Epstein. She would not. I'm surprised they didn't kill her. But I guess if they'd killed her and Malik was out of the way, they were probably going to she was killed. And it would have looked almost too, they couldn't have done it. So, yeah. I mean, she died still not knowing. In my opinion, she found out everything when she saw her son again. They said, "Oh, Mom, let me tell you what happened. You ain't gonna believe this. Kevin, come here. Don, come here. You ain't gonna believe this." And she now knows. The boys are at rest because they were vindicated from that insane man. Oh shit! Let me see. There was a damn it. Damn it. There was a quote from Dr. Malik's obituary. I read it and I howled. It was so fucking funny. And I wrote it down, but I don't know if I brought it down here because upstairs, I moved my computer up there. Just to like do little, stuff that I can't pull up the whole medical and then the case file on my phone. So I took this upstairs and I wrote it down, and I hope the hell, hold on. It was hilarious. It was effing hilarious. It should have been on my Where Are They Now? I love to add those. Where are they now? They fucking dead. That's where they are. Dan Harmon dead. Bye. Nothing. Let me see. All right. Hold on. I hope I can find it. If it's not, I'll put it upstairs. I just howled because he always wanted, to teach. Whatever. It was the biggest can of bullshit I've ever seen in my life. If I can't find it, I'm gonna keep looking home. And then okay. I've got I told y'all this pulled everything away from the boys. We're talking about the U.S. attorney and the U.S. attorney's, and then over here, then we got this, and it all led away from the boys. But I guess it had to. That's just the way it had to be. But those boys can be credited, and Linda Ives, for not giving up, not even a second. And shit. Oh shit. Why is my battery's not on? Oh, sorry. Shit, it was hilarious. They was so funny, and I can't find it. Fuck. Oh, I can't find it. All right. Oh, you are late, Mountain Mom. I'm sorry. Hey, Terry Love. Jean was able to see all the comings and goings at the Epstein Ranch. Well, we're going to find out one day. We're going to find out. Let me get this. Okay, so that is the presentation. That was the two-parter. I could have done this in 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 parts, honestly, because if you look on YouTube, which I plan to do after this, that 19 months. Thank you for all the. I just thank y'all. I thank y'all for coming when I talk about shit. Yeah, it's bad. I don't know. I could have, and there are other people here that literally have an hour-long shows about every part of it. And you could just put the boys on the tracks in your search, and it'll all pop up. I'll probably go back and watch some of those now. I just don't like to get. I don't want anybody else's revelations, to get to me. I always kind of go back and see what I got right. Maybe I got wrong, but hold on. Hold on. You got a day off tomorrow? You go, girl. Oh God, I can't believe we could put it. It was so funny. I remember just dying laughing when I read it. And yeah, Clinton was also. He made a statement back when he was, I guess, well, I don't know, he might have been a fucking president. He was upset that people were even suggesting that he could have anything to do with any of this. Shut up, Bill, you fat bastard. Okay, my computer's getting ready to run out of it. I will. Thank y'all. No, thank y'all. Seriously, Peggy. Me and Peggy gonna keep an eye on this Gene. We're gonna get down to the bottom of this. We're gonna get down to the bottom. Me and Peggy are gonna be on parole, looking at Gene Hackman and what the hell going on. We might have an update. We might not. I probably will. I think I'm gonna go live again Thursday for the caregiver support group, and then I won't be live on the 8th because that's my wedding anniversary. I think it's 23 years or 24 years. I don't really know. And then, as we all know, Monday I will be under the knife on the 10th. So hopefully I will come back very quickly from that. I'm not planning on it, but I mean, it could happen. Hey, warrior grandma, it could happen. So, here's the thing, Costanza, we're not going to get any more answers because now that Linda Ives is dead, we're not going to get any answers. It's so frustrating, so maddening. What I'm going to do when I come back, when I do come back, the very first murder Saturday Night Mystery we're going back to the Yuba 5 to redo that because I didn't like the way I did that. And then we're going to go to the Della whatever past ones too because I didn't do that very well because Russian names piss me off. So and then Peggy had a wonderful suggestion. Conspiracy theories. If you have a conspiracy theory that you truly believe, Marilyn Monroe, JFK, Bigfoot, Bermuda Triangle, anything like that, come up and share it. We want to hear it. Why do you think that? Everybody's right. Okay, nobody. Like I said, no opinions are wrong, and that'll be fun. I think that'll be fun. And it's interesting. I wasn't a one until this. Until this case, I wasn't a conspiracy girl. I am now. 100%. So now that I've got to go back and relearn, go back and visit some of these things that I thought weren't, that might be. Bigfoot, that's right, any of them. So we'll do let you know. And so yeah, I'll see you Thursday. I won't see you Saturday. And it'll probably be a couple of weeks before you see me, but well, thank you. Wolf Rider, I mean, who would have guessed us crazy kids would have lasted this long? But, I got to go. So I'm going to go. I want to thank you before the thing cuts off. And I love y'all for coming. Thank you very much. And I had the 300 people that always showed up, that watched it later. I've got between 400 and 600 people that go back and watch this later. So thank y'all very much. Also, I hit 6,000 subscribers last week, apparently. I didn't know it. I got an email. I have got 6,010 subscribers. Yay! So thank you for that. If you subbed up to me, I appreciate you so much. I can't believe I have 6,000 people on this planet that say, I want to see what she's doing. Thank you. I didn't even know. So again, I will see you Thursday, not Saturday. But I will post. Catherine will post everything, how I'm doing. When I go in, when I come out, how I'm doing, and all that. So you won't miss anything. Anyway, all right. I love you guys very, very much. Thank you for spending the last hour. No, we would go 2 hours almost. Shit. Okay. I'm gonna go watch the Oscars to make sure that my parody is not awarded an Oscar, because if so, I am woefully not dressed for it. And then did the boys also? Oh, there are so many great conspiracies out there. This might be a 17-parter. I say that because, there's so many. I've always thought that Marilyn Monroe was murdered. All right. That's a conspiracy, I guess. There's so many things out there that ain't quite right, but we'll find out. All right. I love you guys. I'm really going to stop the stream last time, unlike I did the last Saturday when I didn't turn it off. I love y'all. I will see you very soon. I love you all. Me and Peggy, we got this Gene Hackman shit. Don't worry about it. And I will see y'all later. Bye, guys. I love you so